fire, 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 fire. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. Why beautiful women are crazy explained. Is that why all VTubers are crazy?
Why is it that beautiful women are crazy? People have been asking this question for a really long time, even back to Plato, where he was quoted one time saying, "It's from my own experience and the experience of my peers that goth bitches are just as hot physically as they are insane mentally."
Okay, yeah, Plato definitely said that.
But why? Why is this the case?
True.
Not from an anecdotal perspective, but from a psychological perspective. And guess what? I have that information. There's a lot of data actually out there to support this is a real thing. And
my theory is men love danger and they're attracted to danger. Men do really reckless, stupid shit that gets them killed.
what exactly causes it? And turns out, it's extremely interesting in my opinion. And at the end of this, I have a piece of advice that I think is really useful. You see, people who are beautiful, especially women, are treated insanely different from other people around them. Now, it's funny because if this ever gets brought up, especially with a beautiful person, they will commonly deny it. Because they'll think, no, not every single guy, not every single one of my friends wants to have sex with me or be...
No, thought policing. And it's super cringe too when you say that. It's like, oh, well, you know, everybody wants to bang you because you're beautiful. They're like, no, stop it!
In an intimate relationship with me, so it's not true. But the problem is, it doesn't just extend to romantic relationships, but to so many different domains. For example, this study I'm showing on screen shows that people who are less attractive face higher rejection in not just romantic relationships, but platonic relationships, work relations, and are seen as less capable by their teachers. People in general want to be friends with more attractive people. And from my own personal experience,
I mean, that's why streaming is like, you kind of just have to be attractive. Like, the rule of thumb is that there's how intelligent and smart and attractive you can be, and if you have none of those, then it's kind of cooked. Which is why you're a VTuber. No, that's because I'm 400 pounds, chat. Come on, get it right. Come on.
Whenever I see a person who just
so
looks
hot,
better all around, even if I don't plan on having a relationship with them, even if I don't plan on ever seeing them again, if I'm going to interact with that person, I generally treat them better, and I'm more willing to do things for them.
Yeah.
And what's also interesting, that
it's the pretty privilege effect. It's very real, very true.
Plays into the whole crazy factor. I think this is essential, is their ability to get away with norm violations. For example, if you do something that is not as socially acceptable, but you're attractive, it will be interpreted and seen in a different way. It will seem more positively and less maliciously. Studies have
there's psychopath. There's actually studies. I don't know if he'll go into it. Obviously, I cut him off just now. I'm sorry. But I've read that, for example, Jeffrey Dahmer was considered fairly attractive, and he did all those horrible crimes and got away with doing really weird shit because people are like, oh, well, he's really pretty, or I'm sure he wouldn't cause harm to do that. Yeah, it's the halo effect. Absolutely. Yeah, Luigi too. Yes! Actually, really good point! A lot of women are dismissing the fact that Luigi did something really horrible. Like, he killed someone. He actually unironically murdered them in cold blood, and because he's attractive, people... Allegedly, he killed someone in cold blood. Because he's attractive, a bunch of women are crazy stupid over him. I bet you if he had an ugly scar on his face and he had, like, bug teeth, people would be more inclined to call him a murderer. Yeah.
Shown this to actually be the case, and more attractive people are even sentenced less harshly by judges. Because again, the court system is run by people, and judges are people. They see people who are more attractive as less malicious, as less evil, and they see people who are less attractive when they do a norm violation or break the law or do something that's not socially acceptable.
Even someone who is, by the way, if you're dirty and you have an unkempt appearance, if on top of that you're ugly or you sound weird, it instantly puts people off of listening to you. Oh, who's, I have a really great, like, recent example. This is not, like, about politics or anything directly like that. The Kennedy that's running for, or he is the Department of like Health now or whatever. He has a really terrible voice and people automatically dismiss him. Yeah, RFK Jr. Yes, correct. He has like an actual he has some sort of like vocal disease, and he sounds like he's got like a fucked up throat. He sounds horrible, and people automatically dismiss what he's saying, even though what he says isn't like bad or anything. Like, he says, I want to take care of the health of the country, and like I want to make people stop being so fat because America's really, really fat. And they don't want to listen to them because the lowest common denominator doesn't want to listen to someone who sounds bad. Yeah, it's so sad.
Reason behind it is often seen as more malicious, as more of a character flaw. There's something wrong with that person rather than they just made a mistake. I remember talking to one girl, she was absolutely beautiful, and she was talking about how, no, people don't treat me better because I'm simply attractive. No, she was denying it, but the very next sentence afterwards, she was talking about how she would use her beauty to get out of traffic violations so that she wouldn't get tickets from police officers.
I knew a girl at work. She was quite attractive. She had dark, natural hair and blue eyes, and she did her makeup really, really well. And I always complimented on her on that at work. And she said that she would regularly get out of traffic violations. Like, she would go, she would do 65 and a 50. And she would get pulled over pretty regularly, and then she wouldn't get ticketed because the guy would be like, oh, I'm really sorry. Bats my eyelashes at you. I'm not making this up, by the way. I am not making this up. She would get out of it consistently every couple of months. Yeah.
She'd also use it to get discounts from people who worked at stores. These people, who are much more attractive, are just treated better all around. They're also seen as smarter. No. It's also known as the halo effect. We attribute more positive traits to people who are more attractive. Yeah. Not on the basis that they objectively are that way, but just because we feel that way towards them. They have better character qualities. They are viewed as smarter. Those things help you a ton.
Also, being really, really fat also is a massive detriment as well. Yeah, being extremely fat. I'm not talking about like overweight. I'm talking about extreme fatness where you basically like you're waddling around. People automatically dismiss you as being greedy, you're disgusting. It's seen as something like you're unhygienic as well because it's associated with not being able to wash yourself properly. It's all on a subconscious level. I'm not saying people say that out loud like on the street, but it's attributed to it.
Again, it's not just, hey, I'm attractive and people want to be in more romantic relationships with me. That's just one domain, beauty affects. And here's the key point. If people view you in a more positive light and they aren't as inclined to correct your behavior when you do something wrong. Let's say you act a little unhinged or make some loud noise or you're weird. I used to be that way, but
VTubers, by the way. VTubers. You ever watch a VTuber go on an unhinged rant? You're like, God damn, she's so hot. I saw one of Lumi doing it the other day when she was playing Command & Conquer Red Alert, I think. Yeah. Yeah, she was having a full-blown meltdown.
Got trained out of me. It's kind of the same principle for beautiful women, but it's not trained out of them as much. People don't punish it as much. People tolerate it much more. And when the people around you don't punish your negative behavior as much, which is what happens all the time, that
happens with being rich as well to an extent. If you're really, really rich, you will throw money at people to tell them to shut up. And then your behavior never gets corrected.
Cultivates and breeds a tolerance for that crazy unhinged behavior that only gets worse later in life. It's as if you're a child that never got disciplined. Of course, you're going to be batshit insane later in life. So to sum this up, women who are much more beautiful are more likely to become crazy because people tolerate their behavior and don't even see it as necessarily that bad or harmful because they're attractive individuals. A large amount of our behavior is either interpreted as positive or negative, whether somebody is attracted to us or sees us as beautiful. This happens even in personal relationships. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you might interpret something that they do. Maybe they have a particular laugh. Maybe they have a quirky laugh. If If you're attracted to that person and you love them, you're going to love that laugh. It's going to be seen in a special light. But if you're no longer attracted to them and you dislike them, that laugh will always drive you insane.
True, actually. People say, oh my god, I love her laugh, but then the people who hate me, they always say how horrible I am and how my laugh is disgusting and stuff like that. Like, her voice is gross, and I'm like, you're just saying that because you hate me. Like, it's not that deep. I don't think I have, like, an insanely gross voice or anything.
Because the action itself is not interpreted as positive or negative, it's simply on its own merit, but whether we are attracted to them. And there's something you can utilize with this. Take care of your appearance. Looks are very important. People will treat you and view you better if you take care of your appearance. That means even if you aren't that attractive, maybe you're average or less attractive, there are tons of things you can do, especially as a guy. Take care of your clothing. Get clothing that fits you well.
True.
Take care of your beard.
Put perfume on yourself, but cologne.
Either have it fully shaven or trimmed very well. Don't just grow hair on your face. Hair on your face alone, it's not good looking. It needs to be taken care of. And if you have hair on your head, take care of the hair on your head. Get a good hairstyle. Try out new things. People will treat you differently if you dress differently, if you appear differently. As long as you're not ugly, the most important things are in your control. I say this as a guy who's kind of average looking at 5'5", but I take care of my appearance. I put a lot of time into it. And the key principle I've learned
He's a short
is
king, Chad.
to try
He's
and
beautiful.
stand out
Don't
and
be
be
weird.
unique and wear clothing that makes you look more attractive. The uniqueness allows you to get attention, and wearing clothing that makes you look more attractive just draws more people to you.
Yeah.
It's very
and confidence, man. If you're confident, like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty meek in person, and I'm not confident in person, at least, like, not around strangers. I think it makes a world of difference. It does.
important. So logically speaking,
Yeah.
if people treat you better and
I'm a
view you
pussy.
better based off of your
Pussy.
appearance, whether it's superficial or not, doesn't matter. People treat you better for it. Thus, it is in your best interest to improve it so that people view you and treat you better also. You can't change the game. You can't change how people are. People
You can't change human psychology. It's literally been bred into us through, like, evolution at this point.
are always going to be like this, so use it to your advantage. Anyways, that's it for this video. I was wondering, to the people who watch my content regularly, I've been researching some things and I found some very fascinating information. It is extremely
Whoa,
controversial and I
gay!
cannot post it on
Chad's
YouTube,
gay.
unfortunately. But if I were to start a Subscribe Star and post content on there that I
sounds
can't
like a
post on
porno
here,
site.
would you be into this video?
Subscribe
Would you be
Star.
down to support me? Do you want exclusive videos? Let me know. Anyways, have a good one.
Ooh,
And
I
be
should
sure to
watch
subscribe.
this some other time. About femcells? I should take note of that. That was a good video. I enjoyed that, chat. Go give him a sub and a like. That was great. Oh my goodness. It's a looter Patreon. I've never heard of it before, but it did sound like... It did sound a bit lewd. Do women love assholes? Color me intrigued. Yes, because have you seen Book Talk? Have you seen what goes on Book Talk? How they're like, I want to be abused. I want a man that throws me around and calls me a piece of shit and then fucks me. Yeah, Book Talk's bad. Social media isn't my thing. Yeah, but Book Talk has, like, women reading dog shit books has been around for centuries. Yeah. It's not even about social media. That's been around forever, since women could write books and stuff. Why are women like this? I don't know. I think there's people who say, the more extreme people would argue and say, like, oh, women want to be conquered. They want to be treated like fucking meat. Because that's how it was for, like, thousands of years. But then I'm like, but that's not... Like, that doesn't really track at the same time, because women do like security. I want to be domed by a... What? By a werewolf? What is wrong with you, chat? Jesus Christ. Chill out. Bow, is that you? Yeah, Bow Alt, is that you? Do I need to ban you?